Look at Hans there. He can't believe what has happened here. Completely destroyed in this position.
In the white corner, it's Gukesh D for Destroyer in this game. A 29 move smoke job. He's playing with the white pieces, kicks off with pawn to e4, and put your hands together. With black, Mr. Niemann playing the aggressive Siciliano. He's the Chuck Norris of chess. Lock up your World Chess Championship medals because he's coming for them, and this is exciting. World Blitz Chess Championship. They met 3 minutes each, as you can see on the left. Plus they get a couple seconds per move. This was just played end of 2025, and Niemann's got to reckon with the world chess champion in classical time controls, Rossalimo here. He goes with a main line in response, building the banana hammock, castles, tucking that bishop into Bedibais. You could play c3 for the big centre, but Chewbacca's favourite move, the Wookiee one, is played, and knight f6 playable, but e5 selected. Going for this gargantuan clamp on the d4 square, so takes was played in response. Now these top grandmothers love their bishops. Why would you give up the bishop here? Well, it's to stop black from getting any kind of active pawn break and then play positionally. Of course, black takes away from the centre to open the bishop. Sometimes you've got to break the rules. Main move is d3 here, but in modern style, Gukesh pushes the rook's pawn. He wants to clamp on this queenside structure, and now we see queen e7. To cover the e-pawn, prepare knight f6, pawn a5 in response, now knight f6 and d3. And it's another key point to note. Yes, the bishops are off the board, but is it an open board? No. 8 pawns on for black, 8 pawns for white. Closed structure, your knights can maneuver. It's what we're about to see. Gukesh first flicks in this h3 move, gives a bit of Lufthansa, keeps an eye on this square. This knight drops back. Where on earth is it headed? Well, I've indicated where. It's a dark squared play. Knight b to d2. Watch the manoeuvring. There it goes. This is the point of the pawn structure. Pressure the centre. Find nice outposts. We see now why the pawn pushed on. And you want to go knight e6, but then this drops. So f6, usually very stinky. Lord Hans Feingold does not approve of such a pawn push. Opening the king, lifting the Camino, lifting the kilt, but it's necessary to cover the centre. Now upon bishop e3, you can hop with that pony and you're fine. Your centre's covered here. It's game on. This is all theory, been seen before. The rook leaves the f-file. You know, that ain't pushing anytime soon. It's covering the centre. This makes sense. No one likes having their lady x-rayed. And now what's the main move here? Played by Anish Giri in a game in the database. Bishop d7. Game goes on. You've got all your bits out. But Niemann plays a blunder. Rook b8. I guess starting to support b5. Or maybe just the mysterious rook move. Freak your opponent out. Now, it's not obvious at first why this is a mistake. It's like working out topless on leather in the heat. You only realise you've blundered when you try to get up and unstick yourself. The problem with this one is that Gukesh now can play a pawn push before you can say, show us your bowling hips. Now, very well done if this idea occurred to you. The point is, if takes, then the bishop crashes through. If the bishop wasn't taken here, this would be a bad mangling of the white structure, giving up an important square. But with bishop taking, rook completely hanging, moving, picking up a tempo, now it works for white because white picks up a counter tempo. Rook has to go away, and then it's not about takes. Then black's get in play, maybe not straight away, but you know, just not the point. It's about pawn d4. And at first, I thought the idea was d5 on the way. But no. Let's say we get takes again. It's takes on e5. Pawn recaptures. Queen takes on c3. And black's positionally busted. bishop's dominating these rooks, and the rook's now coming to the d file to dominate the d6 square. That is going to become an octopus that you just can't live with. So let's back it up. We're in the back cave. That's what happens upon takes. So Niemann lashes out with pawn b5. His best was actually dropping back with the rook. Of course, we see takes on croissant, the greatest move ever invented. If you want to check out the greatest merch ever produced in the chess universe, have a look at the link below. The en croissant mug is there, t-shirt, hoodie, all the rest of it, and a Chess Speaks for Itself t-shirt. My stuff's in the post. I'll be wearing it soon. Hugely supports the channel. Get on in there. Now we see pawn takes back here, and Gukesh takes on c5. Now you have to take with the pawn here. It wasn't played. We're back in the back cave. Yes, it's a horrible structure, but you stop white from playing d4. This is critical. You remain worse. You know, the pieces are a bit of a mess now. Pawn structure's a mess. Okay, it's on an open file, but white's actually going to take over that file soon. Let's pause it there. White's a bit better, but black's fighting. Niemann plays the absolutely stinky cheese move. Knight takes on c5, and that one's ponging hard because white can now punch through the center with that amazing Parmigiano. Takes is played, pawn recaptures, and it looks like you're losing a pawn. But whatever you do, let's say knight takes, not played, you run into bishop f4. There's a rook hanging and a knight hanging. No good. Queen takes, same problems. Takes, bishop f4. No good. No knight d6 or anything. Too many pieces on the square. Black loses. So Niemann's got to retreat, tail between his legs. And now this is my favourite move of the game. This one's not easy to spot. How does white continue the attack in the most direct manner, keep the initiative going? Kudos to you if you found the pawn push d5. Now that is energetic play. You know, the second top move was like rook d1 or something, or bringing one of the rooks there. Just prepare it a bit. But black gets to slightly consolidate with queen c7, stop bishop f4. This is direct because it's a pawn sacrifice, gobbled up of course, and then the point revealed. And once you've cleared the pawns, all of the pieces are now firing. A rook's hanging, a queen's being x-rayed, and where do you even put that rook? It can't go to the a file, of course. Whoops, sorry, just click some random stuff. Let's head back. So the rook steps up to b7 here, and now there's a number of killer moves. Well, a couple of main ones. One is rook a8, very strong, hits a loose piece, which is pinned to a king. Queen d7 starts coming, and then you'd get Gukesh's move following after that. Gukesh starts with a different move that's strong and in a number of the other lines. Can you guess it? It's the octopus that Stocktopus can be proud of. And the massive problem is that you hit a rook, you hit a bishop, and you hit a bishop twice with the queen as well. And none of the defenses are working. You know, say you try this rook move, looks like it solves all the problems. There's knight takes, rook takes, but then this queen drops with check. And this is massively over. How much material down? I don't know, a rook and a minor piece? Rook c7 not working. What if queen c7? It's actually one of the best defenses. You can't, you know, fully take yet. Or queen takes. You could take. This is one line and takes. And then the best is knight takes on f4. Let's just show top line how white still emerges an exchange ahead. Better. So that was queen c7. This was tried in the game. By the way, if bishop d7, well, the rook was dropping. This was selected. Counter-attack on the queen. Defend the bishop. But queen b3 simply. And there's too many problems because you're about to eliminate the bishop, which defends the knight, and then the knight drops. So the instinct is to go bishop d7, hold everything, but then the rook drops. So this is the thing, you just cannot hold everything together. You're looking for a solution that does not exist. It's +5 for white. Niemann goes for this randomizer. Gukesh calmly drops back. He had other moves, but this is good enough, and it's just an awkward position for Hans Niemann to be in. It's like being dropped into a future universe where Magnus Carlsen is still winning in 2065. You still haven't dethroned him, no matter how old he got. He's on his walking stick, he's using a Zimmer frame, maybe even in a motor scooter thing. He's still winning. Let's get back to the here and now. This was played in the game. Bishop chopped off, rook recaptures, and it's the wham bam slam from Gukesh D. This is move 28, queen f7 of course to cover the long diagonal, but how about this for the icing on the cake from Gukesh D? How does he finish it? Rook a7. And there's really nothing to say when you've just been pummeled in 29 moves, but
chess speaks for itself.
Do hope you enjoyed this one. Check out a bit of merch if you want to get warm this winter with some funky chess stuff, and have a look at the video on screen if you want to see some more epic chess from this Blitz Chess Championship from the man himself, Mangrove Carl Swamp. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.
Chess spoke for itself.